Have you ever been in a conversation where you feel like the other person was not listening to? Maybe that person was looking around the room or fidgeting with their hands. Perhaps that person was tapping their foot as if waiting for time to pass by. Whatever it is, with the use of body language, we have made an assumption that the person is not paying attention. Today I will be sharing with you information that I have gathered about body language. I will be addressing 3 topics. First, the history of body language. Second, the types of body language. And third, the cultural differences of body language. First, the history. Body language has been used since the beginning of time and has been an important component to communication. Although the origins of nonverbal communication have been a topic of debate for many years, due to the fact that it is ever-changing and new discoveries are constantly arising, many scientists and anthropologists believe that the study of body language is directly connected with that of primitive times. Charles Darwin, the father of evolution, was the first man credited to discovering the study of body language in human and animals. In his 1872 book, The Expression of the Emotions in Man and Animals, Darwin speculated the use of facial expressions. He then established that humans use facial expressions because they are acquired behavior and have evolved and gained communicative value. He explained that they provided external evidence of a person's internal feelings and thoughts. Next, the 1960s. After Darwin's work, an interest in behavioral studies clouded the continuing research of nonverbal communication. It was not until the mid-1960s when an explosion of research in many areas of nonverbal communication arose, with research in eye contact, pupil dilation, personal space, and the importance of nonverbal cues. Anthropologist Ray Birdwhistell was another component to body language studies. Birdwhistell believed that all body movements had a meaning that could be interpreted much like a language. According to Birdwhistell, humans can make about 250,000 facial expressions. He believed that face-to-face conversation was made up of less than 35% verbal and over 65% nonverbal. He coined the term kinesics, meaning the movement of the body. Which brings me to my next topic, the types of body language. Body language is merely a broad term for the study of nonverbal communication. It can be divided into 3 categories. The first is kinesics, meaning using the movement of the body as communication. This includes facial expressions, such as smiling for happiness, eye movements, such as rolling your eyes as a sign of disregard, and gestures, as the middle finger in a sign of anger. And lastly, posture, such as slouching as a sign of lack of confidence. It is important to understand kinesics because it can reveal what a person is truly feeling or thinking inside. Next is proxemics, which is the study of personal space. It is important to regulate the distance between people because it can make us feel safe, help us communicate better, show affection, or pose as a threat. There are 4 types of space. The first is public space, which is 12 to 25 feet, such as walking down the street or strolling through the mall. Next is social space, which is 4 to 10 feet, such as meeting a new person or talking to someone. The next is personal space, which is 2 to 4 feet, used for people who are close to you, such as friends. And lastly, intimate space, which is 1 foot, used for people who you have the closest relationships to, such as using it for a whisper, a close conversation, or to share a kiss. And lastly, haptics, which is nonverbal communication through the use of touch. It is extremely important in nonverbal communication because it can show warmth and acceptance, such as handshakes, back pats, hugging, and kisses. Lastly, I'm going to talk about cultural differences. Just as language is different in parts of the world, the same goes for body language. There are many different types of variations of body language between cultures, but it is a good idea to understand the different types if you are traveling to another country. Handshakes are among the most common type of communication. However, they are not universal. They are used to greet and show respect, but in the US and Canada, we use a normal firm handshake. In other parts of the world, such as Mexico, people prefer a hug or a kiss, known as abrazo. Other parts of the world that prefer this include Cuba, Portugal, Italy, Eastern Europe, and Middle East, to name a few. In Asian cultures such as Japan, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, and Pakistan, people prefer to bow as a greeting. However, they all have a different type of bow. Next is the thumbs up. In America, thumbs up is commonly used to show good job or a gesture for hitchhiking. In Australia, Greece, and the Middle East, the same thumbs up gesture means up yours or sit on this. Problems also arise with the use of fingers when counting, with thumbs up representing the number 1 in Germany and Hungary, but the same thumb meaning the number 5 in Japan. The peace sign in America is associated with sign of peace, victory, or the number 2. However, in Great Britain, Australia, Ireland, or New Zealand, the same basically means the F-bomb, or equivalent as the middle finger here in America. In conclusion, now you know more about communicating by the use of nonverbal communication. I have told you about the history of the body language, the 3 categories of body language, the differences in body gestures in other countries. Next time you are conversing with someone, pay attention to the types of language they are using. Thank you.